Ya, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Jaya Krishna, Rakira, Prabhupada. Jayam Prabhupada, Jayam Prabhupada, Jayam Prabhupada, Jayam Prabhupada. की जय गणहर श्रीमद् भगवताम की जय ओम नमः नारायण हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 1 and text number 13. Tavasanam dvijakavam, Tavasanam dvijakavam, Tavasanam dvijagavam, Tavasanam dvijagavam, Parameshyam jagatpate, Parameshyam jagatpate, Bhavaya Shreyas Bhutai, Bhavaya Shreyas Bhutai, Shemaya Vijaya Yacha, Shemaya Vijaya Yacha, Shemaya Vijaya Yacha, Shemaya Vijaya Yacha, Tavasana Vijagavam, Parameshyam Jagatpate, Bhavaya Shreyase Bhutai, Shemaya Vijaya Yacha, Tavasanam Vijagavam, Parameshyam Jagatpate, Bhavaya Shreyase Bhutai, Shemaya Vijaya Yacha. Christian. Tavasanam Vijagavam, Parameshyam Jagatpate, Bhavaya Shreyase Bhutai, Shemaya Vijaya Cha. Devotees in the Zoom, like mentioned.
Navasanam Tvijagavam Parameshyam Jagatpate Bhavaya Shreyase Bhutyai Shemaya Vijaya Shemaya Vijaya Yacha.
Shemaya Vijaya Yacha. Translation word by word. Tava, your. Asanam, position of the throne. Dvija, of the Brahminical culture. Or the Brahmanas. Gavam, of the cows. Parameshtyam, supreme. Jagatpate, O master of the whole universe. Bhavaya, for improvement. Shreyasa, for the ultimate happiness. Utyai, for increasing the opulence. Kshemaya, for the maintenance of and good fortune. Vijayaya, for the victory and increasing prestige. Cha, and O Lord Brahma, Your position within this universe is certainly most auspicious for everyone, especially the cows and brahmanas. Brahminical culture and the protection of cows can be increasingly glorified, and thus all kinds of material happiness, opulence, and good fortune will automatically increase. But unfortunately, if Hiranyakashipu occupies your seat, everything will be lost. Purple. In this verse, the words Dvijagavam Parameshthyam indicate the most exalted position of the Brahmanas, Brahminical culture, and the cows. In Vedic culture, the welfare of the cows and the welfare of the Brahmanas are essential. Without a proper arrangement for developing Brahminical culture and protecting cows, all the affairs of administration will go to hell. Being afraid that Hiranyakashipu would occupy the post of Brahma, all the demigods were extremely disturbed. Hiranyakashipu was a well-known demon, and the demigods knew that if demons and rakshasas were to occupy the supreme post, Brahminical culture and protection of cows would come to the end. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, the original proprietor of everything is Lord Krishna. Bhaktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvalokamaheshwaram. The Lord, therefore, knows particularly well how to develop the material condition of the living entities within this material world. In every universe, there is one Brahma engaged on behalf of Lord Krishna, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adhikavaya. The principal creator in each Brahmanda is Lord Brahma, who imparts Vedic knowledge to his disciples and sons. On every planet, the king or supreme controller must be a representative of Brahma. Therefore, if a Rakshasa or demon were situated in Brahma's post, then the entire arrangement of the universe, especially the protection of the Brahminical culture and cows, would be ruined. All the demigods anticipated this danger, and therefore they went to request Lord Brahma to take immediate steps to thwart Hiranyakashipu's plan. In the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma was attacked by two demons, Madhu and Kaithabha, but Krishna saved him. Therefore, Krishna is addressed as Madhu Kaithabha Hantri. Now again, Hiranyakashipu was trying to replace Brahma. The material world is so situated that even the position of Lord Brahma, not to speak of ordinary living entities, is sometimes in danger. Nonetheless, until the time of Hiranyakashipu, no one had tried to replace Lord Brahma. Hiranyakashipu, however, was such a great demon that he maintained this ambition. The word Bhutayi means for increasing opulence, and the word Shreyase refers to ultimately returning home back to Godhead. In spiritual advancement, one's material condition improves at the same time that the path of liberation becomes clear and one is freed from material bondage. If one is situated in an opulent position in spiritual advancement, his opulence never decreases. Therefore, such a spiritual benediction is called bhuti or vibhuti. Krishna confirms this in Bhagavad Gita 10:41. Yad yad vibhutimat sattvam Namatejongsha Sambhavam. If a devotee advances in spiritual consciousness and thus becomes materially opulent, also, his position is a special gift from the Lord. Such opulence is never to be considered material. At the present, especially on this planet Earth, the influence of Lord Brahma has decreased considerably. And the representatives of Hiranyakashipu, the Rakshasas and demons, have taken charge. Therefore, there is no protection of Brahminical culture and cows, which are the basic prerequisites of all kinds of good fortune. This age is very dangerous because society is being managed by demons and Rakshasas. Hare Krishna. Bhavasanam vijagavam paramashyam jagatpate bhavaya shreyase bhutyai kshemaya jayaya cha. O Lord Brahma, your position within this universe is certainly most auspicious for everyone, especially the cows and brahmanas. Brahminical culture and protection of cows can be increasingly glorified, and thus all kinds of material happiness, opulence, and good fortune will automatically increase. But unfortunately, if Hiranyakashipu occupies your seat, everything will be lost. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruntamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, today we have some news from Vaikunta, from Srimad Bhagavatam, that is informing us about the real nature of this material existence where we live. Welcome to material world. Place of misery, Kalayam and Ashashvata, full of misery and temporary place, where conditioned souls with material inclinations want to enjoy the post of the supreme leader, the supreme creator, proprietor, enjoyer, like Hiranyakashipu. Srila Prabhupada explained in his very beautiful, elaborate purport that nowadays there is a lot of representatives, bona fide representatives of Hiranyakashipu, Rakshasas and demons. It's not necessary that they look in very, like in cartoon, children see demons very disfigured and all these different, fantastic or exotic, shapes. No, they can be very well mannered externally, of course, according concocted Kali Yuga culture, and they can look very neat and nice, like gentlemen or like respectful lady or something like this. But like Putana, for instance, when she assumed this lady, this shape of Vrindavan Gopi, she looked so beautiful that even the gopis of Vrindavan were allured and attracted to beautiful feature of Putana. But what was her real nature and shape? Very ugly, demoniac. Yes, and her motives, her inspiration, her attitude and desires were very very negative, meant to destroy and exploit. So, demons and rakshasas nowadays, they can accept also this type of shape. They can look very attractive. They can act and behave in a alluring way that people can become bewildered and follow such type of charismatic, so-called charismatic persons, individuals, and be misleaded. So why is like that? Because there is no Brahminical culture anymore. Cows are slaughtered. Nobody cares about cows, of course, except one oasis on this earth planet. Gita Nagari ki jai. Here in this place, Gita Nagari Dham, we take care of Brahminical culture. We take care of Krishna's cows. Therefore, we have here opulence, even lamps on the streets, paved roads, gentle association of wonderful individuals who cultivate Brahminical qualities of culture. We have karma-free vegetarian food blessed by Krishna's mercy. Therefore, we call it prasadam. We have so many wonderful things. Why? Because bona fide representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Lover, they design the beautiful process of bhakti where we can develop or cultivate Brahminical culture. This is extremely important, especially nowadays, this Kali Yuga age, where everything degrades very quickly. So as we hear today, that leadership post is extremely important because all positive changes and also negative changes are not happening on the lower level of social issue, but on upper levels, on leadership positions. So therefore, depends what type of leader is on the top, on the post. Like demigods mentioned here. Oh, Brahma, you are, how do you say? Oh, Lord Brahma, your position within this universe is certainly most auspicious for everyone, especially the cows and Brahmanas, because uh, and this create material happiness, opulence, and good fortune. And this is constantly increasing. But unfortunately, if Hiranyakashipu occupies your seat, everything will be lost. So Hiranyakashipu is also a big leader, but very negative leader, demon, not like Lord Brahma, demigod, who is our Brahma, is spiritually inclined. Therefore, he is very eager and ambitious to maintain, to cultivate Brahminical culture and maintain a cause. Demon Hiranyakashipu, although he is big leader, very powerful, he has no such intentions to cultivate or maintain Brahminical culture or maintain a caste. It's complete opposite. So today we see similar uh, similar tendencies. So what is this all about? This leadership? Well, it is very important to such an extent that Krishna mentioned 5,000 years ago in his Bhagavad Gita. Yad yad acharati shrestha tatattvajana prana evatarajana sayat pramanam kurute lokastan anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursue. So this can be positive set, and it also can be also negative settlement. Whatever action a great man performs, either demon or noble man like Brahma. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets, either negative or positive, by exemplary acts, can be positive acts and can be negative acts. All the world pursues. And what Srila Prabhupada is writing in purport. People in general always require a leader who can teach the public by practical behavior. A leader cannot teach the public to stop smoking if he himself smokes. Lord Chaitanya said that a teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya, or the ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principles of Shastra to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. The revealed scriptures like Manu Samhita and similar others are considered the standard books to be followed by human society. Thus, the leader's teaching should be based on the principles of such standard shastras. One who desires to improve himself must follow the standard rules as they are practiced by the great teachers. The Srimad Bhagavatam also affirms that one should follow in the footsteps of great devotees, and that is the way of progress on the path of spiritual realization. The king or the executive head of a state, a father, and the school teacher are all considered to be natural leaders of the innocent people in general. All such natural leaders have a great responsibility to their dependents. Therefore, they must be conversant with the standard books of moral and spiritual codes. If we don't have such leadership who are very, very, very well versed with the conclusion of such uh, uh, standard books or moral and spiritual codes, then we have chaos. And this is exactly what we are experiencing today. World is not in peaceful condition. People, human society is not in peace and happiness. World is experiencing violence, war here and there. People quarrel with each other. In human societies, there is a lot of disturbance, frustration, confusion, bewilderment, hatred. So these are consequences of lack of proper leadership. If leadership is weak, then there is big mess. Crime, thefts, all the different things, cheating. But what happened with leadership is very strong. Like we hear some countries on the Middle East or something like this, like in for instance, like Singapore, yeah. Like for instance, if you do something illegal, like like if you steal something, your hand will be cut off. So therefore, knowing people knowing this fact, they don't steal. There's no there is no crime. Why? Because they're afraid leaders, because they are very strict. So they know that they cannot mess up with the leaders. So therefore, they are very obedient and they follow the law. And therefore, everything is peace, everything is around peaceful and prosperous. Same was like Maharaj Parikshit was present. Everything was very peaceful, prosperous, blissful. And what happened when Maharaj Parikshit, on his way of checking the kingdom, saw Kalki that was torturing the bull? He immediately grabbed for sword and was able to kill it. But because Kalki, personification of Kali, he was pleading and begging Maharaj Parikshit, who has high moral codes, he not forgive him, but order him to go to place of degradation and not mess up anything in his kingdom. So we see that there are beautiful examples of strong leaders who are capable to establish Vedic or Brahminical culture. Everything is auspicious, full of opulence, peace, and bliss. But there are leaders who are not very well acquainted with and conversant with the standard books of moral and spiritual codes. Therefore, being negligent and ignorant in this matter, they don't care about Vedic or Brahminical culture or protection of cow. Therefore, we see big mess, confusion, frustration, violence, etc. And this is nothing new. This was also described in Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago. In the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1st, chapter 1st, text number 10, it is very, very clearly described, foreseeing the incompetencies of the people in this age of Kali, or the iron age of quarrel. The sages requested the Sutta Goswami give a summary of all revealed scriptures because the people of this age are condemned in every respect. The sages therefore inquire for of the absolute good, which is the ultimate good for the people. The content state of affairs of the people of this age is described as follows. Prayenala paryusha sabya khalak asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrita. Oh, learn one. In this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Sometimes we have tendencies to find out about nature of ours. What nature I have? How I can learn about myself more? What strength, psychological strength I have? or what natural propensities I have. I just want to learn more how I can improve myself to be more effective, more powerful. Here you go. This is description of us, conditioned souls, who was who were forced to take birth in Kali Yuga on this earth planet. So this is our characteristic. It doesn't mean that it's characteristic of us as eternal spirit soul, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. From this point of view, from the spiritual point of view, we are Sat Chit Ananda. We are eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. But since we became bewildered, confused by external illusory energy of the Supreme Lord, we are under Maya's grip. Therefore, we suffer ignorance, forgetfulness about our real identity. Therefore, being forced to take birth in Kali Yuga, we actually are victim of this demoniac, full of Rakshasas leadership, and therefore our life is diminished. It's not very auspicious, it's diminished. And we have tendency quarrel. We are also very lazy about spiritual improvement, spiritual development, misguided, not only by this Rakshasa and demoniac leaders, but also by our confused and bewildered, full of ignorance and illusion, our own mind. And we are unlucky. And above all, always disturbed. What Srila Prabhupada wrote in his purport? The devotees of the Lord are always anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. Therefore, what Srila Prabhupada established? He was very anxious for the spiritual improvement of the general public. Therefore, on the order of his spiritual master, he risked his life in the age of 70, when usually this age of retirement. He came to the West to spread Krishna's glories and help conditioned souls to uplift their consciousness to make their life more peaceful and blissful, auspicious. Therefore, came here and established this ISKCON society, the house that everybody can take shelter. Sometimes it's compared to a hospital, that all spiritually sick, conditioned souls can come and take treatment to come back to proper spiritual health, give up all these different diseases, reject all different, or give up or get rid of all different viruses and bacteria of material existence of Kali Yuga, and become healthy again. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada established this house, this hospital, ISKCON society, and make different departments, temples, preaching centers, farms, where people, open-minded people, can come and take advantage of the association of devotees, those who are dedicated to cultivate Brahminical culture and cow protection, to invite auspiciousness. So, but in these different departments, like temples or farms, like here, there is certain rules and regulations of freedom. It doesn't mean that, since this was created for us for our own benefit, so then we can do everything what we want. No, there are certain rules and regulations of freedom. As Srila Prabhupada stated this in Bhagavad Gita. Freedom doesn't mean to do everything whatever comes to our mind. Freedom means that there are certain set of rules and regulations that we follow, and then we can live peacefully. Like, for instance, there is certain rules and regulations of driving the vehicle. You cannot drive vehicle in a way that you want. No, there are certain rules and regulations to follow. If you follow, then there is no collisions, there is no disturbance, there is peace. And you can reach your destination very nicely. But if there is no, so then there will be a lot of disturbance or even maybe big misery. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada continued. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyzed the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that men would live short lives, not only due to car accidents or shooting in the schools or any other places, but due to this unfortunate lack of proper culture, anxiety, and stress will eat them alive. Therefore, the span of life is reduced. They would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened not so much because of insufficient food, but because of irregular habits. Srila Prabhupada comments. Irregular habits, like my Guru Maharaj emphasized. Conditioned soul develop disease habits. What is that? Regularly unregulated. So we need to, since we are in hospital, in special care department, we need to come back to health and establish what? Regular regulation. By keeping regular habits, Srila Prabhupada continued, and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence on others' mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. Therefore, the duration of life is shortened. The people of this age are also very lazy, not only materially, but in the matter of self-realization. The human life is especially meant for self-realization. That is to say, man should come to know what he is, what the world is, and what the supreme truth is. Human life is a means by which the living entity can end all the miseries of the hard struggle for life in material existence, and by which he can return to Godhead, his eternal home. But due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self-realization. Even if they come to know about it, they unfortunately become victims of misguided teachers, leaders. In this age, men are victims not only of different political creeds and parties, but also of many different types of sense gratificatory diversions, such as cinemas, sports, gambling, clubs, mountain libraries, bad association, smoking, drinking, cheating, pilfering, pilfering, bikers, bikers, and so on. Their minds are always disturbed and full of anxieties due to so many different engagements. In this age, many unscrupulous men manufacture their own religious faiths, which are not based on any revealed scriptures. And very often, people who are addicted to sense gratification are attracted by such institutions. We also can detect tendencies. Why? Because we are victims of this material leaders, present mundane leaders of this modern society, degraded modern society. We just came from the society with higher taste to develop something better. So therefore, it is necessary to give up what is unfavorable, what we learn over there, and accept what is favorable for spiritual upliftment, spiritual development. Otherwise, if we will cultivate what we learn over there, it's just like rasa basa, like trying to ignite the fire at the same time pour water on it. It doesn't make any sense. In this way, we can continue our spiritual endeavor for lifetimes. But if we want to finish this business in this lifetime, we cannot pour water on the fire that we just ignited. So therefore, we should give up all these unfaithful activities, all these habits that we give up. How to do this? We need to just learn what Brahminical culture means and cultivate aspects of this Brahminical culture. Consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried on that the people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. The student, brahmachari, communities are no longer being maintained, and householders do not observe the rules and regulations of the Grihastra ashram. Consequently, the so-called vanaprasthas and sannyasis who come out of such grihastha ashrams are easily deviated from the right, from the rigid path. In the Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with faithlessness. Men are no longer interested in spiritual values. Material sense gratification is now the standard of civilization. We should have habit like Vivangala Thakur, correct? When he hear about sex enjoyment, he was turning aside and see on the plot all about this. So we should develop such habit when we feel or hear or feel that our condition is like tempting us for some sense gratification that which is standard of modern civilization, we should just turn and spit it on it. For the maintenance of such material civilizations, man has formed complex nations and communities, and there is a constant strain of hot and cold wars between these different groups. It has become very difficult, therefore, to raise the spiritual standard due to the present distorted values of human society. The sages of Naimisharanya are anxious to disentangle all foreign souls, and here they are seeking the remedy from Srila Sutta Goswami. And what remedy Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita? In chapter 2, just on the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, in text number 59, what he mentioned? Vishaya vinivartante, niraharasya dehina, rasavarjam rasupyasya, param drishva nivartate. Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains. Unfortunately. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. Srila Prabhupada elaborated this in his purport. Unless one is transcendentally situated, it is not possible to cease from sense enjoyment. The process of restriction from sense enjoyment by rules and regulations is something like restricting a diseased person from certain types of eatables. The patient, however, neither likes such restrictions nor loses his taste for eatables. Similarly, Sense restriction by some spiritual processes like Ashtanga Yoga in the matter of Yama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dhyana, etc., is recommended for less intelligent persons who have no better knowledge. But one who has tasted the beauty of the Supreme Lord Krishna in the course of his advancement in Krishna consciousness no longer has a taste for dead material things. Therefore, restrictions are there for the less intelligent neophytes in the spiritual advancement of life. But such restrictions are only good until one actually has a taste for Krishna consciousness. When one is actually Krishna conscious, he automatically loses his taste for pale things. So this is the solution. So therefore, devotees who experience higher taste, they are so eager to share this higher taste with all these conditioned souls who are confused and bewildered and suffer. So therefore, we have farms where we welcome everyone who is looking for some serene, beautiful, auspicious place where he can learn about himself, about absolute, about relationship with absolute, how to do things to make in his life and be happy. Also, Sankirtan devotees who dedicate their lives to propagate the glory of the Supreme Lord, grabbing Srila Prabhupada's books, which are like spiritual atomic bombs, and distribute widely everywhere. Why? To just give these conditioned souls higher taste by this transcendental wisdom that Srila Prabhupada shared. These books, although maybe they will be not maybe read on the spot by these conditioned souls. Maybe they will be not able even to understand the text immediately. But still, they are like time bombs. When they take this book to their home, so these books are purifying atmosphere. In certain time, this person who was not able to read right away these books, then uh, from time to time will come to this book. Maybe somebody else, but these books are solution for all problems of this material existence. So therefore, those who are going on Sankirtan today, take Srila Prabhupada's books with attitude to bless conditioned souls and make their life auspicious. We shouldn't hesitate if there is opportunity to give Krishna to others. We should take any type of any chance, any opportunity to share Krishna consciousness with others. And distributing Srila Prabhupada's books is most potent, most effective way of changing positively lives of conditioned souls. Bring auspiciousness to their life, to the life of their family and their home. So I'm appealing to those who are going on Sankirtan today. Please beg your spiritual master, beg Lord Shri Krishna for empowerment and intelligence to know what to say and how to say, how to act, how to behave, to approach in such a way that conditioned souls will be attracted to you, that you vibrate such warm and loving energy that even don't understand your words. They will be hypnotized to take this book and then cherish the context later on. May Lord Krishna and Gurudev bless you in your sincere effort of spreading Krishna's glories. Shri Krishna Bhagavan Ke Jai. Are there any questions or comments?
If nobody online is raising their hand, I can ask something.
No hands.
Alright.
Oh, sorry, yes, some hand, yes. Gina Palika. What I should I don't know how to do this.
Yes.
Gina Palika, Devi, please unmute yourself. I should. Yeah, Gina Palika, yeah.
Dina Polika, were you raising your hand?
Or maybe this is just, oh, this may be cursor.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So please go ahead.
So I came in late, so I might have missed something, but on this point of trying to develop Vaishnava culture.
Yeah.
Sometimes we see that devotees not necessarily to say favorable or on the point of culture. It was sometimes we see that devotees are not so favorable necessarily towards the cultural aspects of Krishna consciousness. There's so many examples in the talk, food, clothing, relationships, things like that. And sometimes even, senior devotees we find encourage or condone Western cultural norms. So how should we handle that?
Say that.
Aye.
Shishirada Ramadar Ki Jai.